Yes, we finally found the right position for everything, Mazi. For the past 30 minutes, let me tell you guys, I have been figuring out how to put, because now the space is constantly changing. So I'm figuring out when I put the ring light on this side, I put the light on this side, there's the backlight behind me, there's the light coming, there's the natural light coming in. Because today I'm shooting during daytime. So, hey, it's becoming hectic. I'm like, yo, if it's not the bad angle, if it's not the right texture for my skin, if all this will bring problems when I'm doing what, when I'm editing. So I had to figure that out. It's been 30 minutes, guys, and we're finally here recording. Welcome back to yet another video. It's your girl Anjiru Hapa, and for today's video it's gonna be a reveal. If you're up to speed, I have done 8 episodes of a project I've been working on. I had named it Project Creative Hub because the business partners hadn't fully settled on the name they wanted, but finally they did, and the space is called Adorn You. It's Adorn You. So you got tattoos, you got thriftwear, you have suits, you have accessories that come with thriftwear, right? And what else? Have I forgotten anything? Can I confirm that? I need to confirm. I really don't think I have. So now this project actually happened in a very weird way, because I remember I was coming from Vasha and then I got a call from Ciah. So Ciah is one of the business holders or partners of the business of Adorn You, and she called me. She's like, yo, we want a space. We're thinking we want it to be also, aside from being business, we want it to be a space where people can come and hang and take photos and wear drip and just chill, and it's some nice vibe, right? So I was like, wow, nice. I'm actually coming back from Vasha, so we can start talking by WhatsApp, maybe the ideas you have for the space, and then it would be good if now I come to see the space in like real time, right? So we planned for, I think we came back from Vasha on a Saturday or a Sunday. On a Saturday, I think. So we planned for Monday. I was like, yeah, let's do this. Monday, I come see the space and we see. Because also they're working with time, because they'd already paid like the depot and the first month rent, So the sooner the better. So I got back home. I was so excited. I was like, yeah, for once I'm doing a whole space. I can't even imagine, guys. You don't even know the excitement in my head, because I'm at a point where I've been manifesting such things, and to see them come, and I know it will be like more and more and more and more spaces that I work on. That would be amazing, very much so. So yeah, why? Unlike before, it's like she make me a bed, it's just a bed. She make me a TV stand, it's just a TV stand. She make me transform my whole bedroom. I'm like, yes. Give me your whole house, yes. Give me your whole business, yes. Give me give me your car. I don't even know, man. Give me your tiny house. Give me your sex rooms, man. So I came back home. That's where I was, right? I came back home and going through WhatsApp, she has specific Pinterest, Google photos of, I'd like such a desk, workstation. I'd like such a barrier. I'd like such what else was there? Seats we hadn't fully decided, but the barrier for sure. I'll put a photo here. The barrier, the workstations, a snack bar. Like, she had what she wanted. She had envisioned for the space. And on top of that, the barrier was separating the reception area / drip area with the tattoo area, right? Yeah. And for that, you already knew, for the tattoo area, I want black and white. That's the theme they were working with for the tattoo area. For this other side, we were like, she's open to, we see what would work with the black and white and all that. So she sent me a couple of photos. I'd want to run them after this, or right now. They'll be running on the screen, and I love the idea. Now the other thing was, there's whatever she'd love for the space, and now once it comes to the space, how does it work cohesively to make the space one, right? Without being like, hey, am I still in the same place? No, you're still in the same place, but you're in a different section. Does it make sense? So after tomorrow, on Monday, we are there. Hey, Monday, we are there. We see the space. Kwanzaa, we find the water, and there was a tap at the corner. Now, right here, I want to like put the photos of the before, right? So this right here is the before of the space. And if you notice at that specific corner at the back, there is like a green thing hanging. That's the tap. So when we got there, the tap was leaking someplace, and she told the landlady, "Hey, kindly please make sure." She's like, "Oh yeah, we got it fixed." We figure we still find like a pool of water. See, I'm not lying. Check the rest of the photos and see that. Also, the walls were painted white. So yes, they were white, but you'd see some pink. So you're like, okay, Kwani, this white was which white? The walls as well as the window, which was metallic, as well as the door, had some white, and whoever painted it had dripped that paint all the way to the skirtings, to everywhere. And it was like, wow, okay. Because you know, if already the paint that you're dealing with under has tears and drips, it means even if I paint over, kidogo itaonekana. So that means I knew I had to do a couple of layers for the space. Actually, guys, I've done a couple of painting gigs before, and not like at a whole house, but also I play around with paints, and I paint my wood pieces. I paint varnish. So I was like, she was like, do you think you can actually do the paint? Because I just want to deal with one person. And I'm like, yeah, I think I can actually do that. I have some roller brushes. Here they are, actually. Let me tell you. So I had a set of rollers. I noticed if I use the big ones, it really doesn't work for me. And by the big ones, I mean like this. You can actually see it right here. I don't like big things sometimes, because I know with this, if you're not as experienced, there's a lot of dripping, like when you roll on the wall, right? So I had this. You can actually see this is green. This painted the green side, and this was for the white side. But I always prefer to do my first coat with a brush. Ooh, yeah, with a brush, because at least in an idea of how the space will look. So first and foremost, what happened is I had to do the first coat. I'm actually breaking this down for you who didn't watch from episode 1. I had to do the first coat on the whole space, then a second coat. So the whole space includes the tattoo side, the reception side, and the ceiling. Right, the ceiling. Then the second coat included the tattoo side, which was white, the half side. If you notice, I put some tape on the barrier places, and then the green on this side, the first coat, and then another coat, and then another coat. So those are 3 green coats. 3 green coats. What? When you hear the TH, you know I'm Kikuyu. Then on the white side again, I had to do another coat, and doing the white coat also meant that once I got the pieces together during setup and installed them on the wall with their first coats, it meant I had to do the second coat while they were on the wall. And on the wall, you'd think, but understand, there's always spills. It's how you deal with it. Around whatever you're applying, ensure there's tape. I ensured there was that. So after painting kidogo ile alafu kufanya saa touch up ingine ya white. Imagine all these coats, right? On setup day, oh no, you guys, I had to talk about that ceiling. That ceiling was crazy. You know why? Because that's the only thing we couldn't touch. It would have been, we were very tempted to like see even the ceiling mazi because of how it looked. When it's hot, it used to sag. Then when it was cold, it contracts back to normal, but there's still waves. You understand? And the reason as to why that happened is because whoever the landlady gave the job put really like little pieces of wood to run across to hold the ceiling. So if you notice, when you look at that ceiling, there's so many like partitions. Yet for that ceiling and for that space, a board comes as 4 foot by 8 foot. So ingetoshea vizuri angeongeza like one patch. So expect like one joint fam. But there were joints and joints and joints, and then watafuta mbao hivi, watafuta mbao haupati. So amanisha ilikuwa mgori, lakini hata twashukuru we had the barrier, because the barrier came in and kind of helped support where when it was hot it was sagging. So it kind of created some tension like this, you know, some tension, because you make sure as well it's tight. And I even added another piece of wood halfway through. So imagine even the barrier to be held on the ceiling, it was impossible because there wasn't any piece of wood. So I had to work with the side and the floor. Imagine. So now Ciah, me and Ciah had to now create a mood board. And even when we were there, I remember when the black and white was already decided, she's like, "Guy, what color do I go with?" And they said, me, I'm like, yo, a shade of green would be good. And it's not the bright Wakamba green. Okay, I'm not saying it's Wakamba, so only have that, but it's not that type of green. It's a really nice dark green. I had actually seen in a couple of, you know, how when you're watching some couple of videos or you're just going through your page and now the whatever is giving you what you've been searching or whatever. So those are green, but I couldn't find the photo. And then ever since Vasha, let me tell you this story. This story is hilarious. Ever since Vasha, so like I think 2 days before we left Vasha, my phone started showing black and white. And I'm like, yo, I told my sister, yo, see, now give me one of your iPhones, kwa sababu sasa hii simu yangu itabidi nyingine na nilikuwa nimebudgetia vitu zingine na pesa nyingine, and now the universe or whoever, the devil, is trying to now make me buy a new phone. And I'm like, shit. The whole time there, everything was black and white. So even when Ciah is sending me all those things and ninis, I'm like, wow, it's black and white. So I have to come back home. When I'm in the house, I have to now take those photos and put them in my desktop so that I see, and I'm like, wow, this is the colors. This is you know, color just adds. I love black and white, honestly, but when you're dealing with color, you need to see the color. So imagine even when I'm trying to suggest that this is the green we work with, I can't even, because I can't see shit. So we sat down, me, Ciah, and Zeus. Zeus is the other business partner for the space. He's the tattoo artist. You should go over there if you want tattoos, if you want drip, if you want suits, you want any type of thrift, caps and accessories, whether rings, nini. It's a very nice space, man. If you also want to do photo shoots or like do your podcast there, do whatever, I think I'll need to do an episode there. It would have been fitting to have done this episode in that space, but unfortunately I couldn't have, because I haven't been feeling well and I have to rest for like 5 days because I've been overworking. So yeah, that's how we settled on the green. Zeus tafutaz on his phone, and Ciah also tafutaz the green now we're looking for. Zeus was the quick man thing, yeah? He found different charts of shades of green, and Ciah also found shades of green, and then finally we now decide. I'm seeing the tone. I was thinking in my head a very dark tone, and Ciah also likes it. Yeah, she likes it. So we're like, Sacramento green is our thing. Now understand, huku Kenya, paint hazijanimiwa the same na majini. So now going to the paint guys, and I'm like, I want Sacramento green. It's like, what is Sacramento green? They have their own colors. So my plugs, it's some supermarket, man. I bought most of these tools here, and they have a whole hardware on the first floor. So that's where I prefer going as compared to the hardwares here in Kikuyu. Hardwares here in Kikuyu are just, sometimes they just take advantage of people and just the prices. And on top of that, you don't get back at least part of your money. See, in a supermarket, when you have a card, if you have a points card, it translates back to points at least. So I was like, hey, you know me, this adulting thing, you have to. So I went there. We went through the catalogs for crown paint. The closest colors we were getting was like a beetle green. There was a forest green. There was a dark forest and a forest green that looked dark. But you know, with forest green, sometimes even when you look at the wall, just do a search and see forest green, you'll get more or less the lighter shade, which wasn't what we were going for the space. We needed that ka green, yeah, you know, that one. So I don't know. It's like I'm sending Ciah these photos. I'm like, shit, we haven't gotten the green. I'm sending Ciah these photos, and I'm like, bado hatujapata your green yenye iko kwa akili zetu, because we were in the same page, facts. And I loved the fact that when we had the vision board for the space, or do I call it a mood board, or like just the board with what we wanted for the space, I am glad Ciah, unajua kuna client unaweza pata ako nje, si mtu si mtu creativity, si mtu nini, but you know Ciah is into creativity, akona taste hivi kiplani. So she had a couple of nice also accessories that would come into the space. So there I wasn't worried at all, maze. So it was really a nice working environment, by the way. So on like the fourth day I went back to that supermarket. After talking to Ciah, I'm telling a guy, imagine I'm only finding they're telling me they can only mix beetle green and what's this other color, and dark forest, and this forest green that was a bit dark. I'm like, guy, and we still haven't found now the color. You know, the way when you decide it's Sacramento. And then like the other day when I went now to buy some of the things I buy in the hardware, I talked to the paint guy again. So this guy, they have the paint, the crown paints, mixing thing in the supermarket, the one that mixes the color, and then you put in the other one that shake, and mixes it nicely. So I talked to the guy, I'm like, guy, maze this green. So now I was telling you about the supermarket. So that day I left. Then I said, this is one of mine. Now today is when I'm deciding, do I buy another one or don't I buy another one? So when I decide, tutavumilia hapa because hiyo kitu ingine itatuletea do investment ingine hadi hiyo time tutanunua simu hata tukitaka kila mwezi, lakini kwa sasa let's stick with this black and white. So I said I might not be aware what the problem is, because honestly it was just weird, and when it happened tulikuwa matings matangari pale, so I don't know, I can't exactly tell you what went down, you know. So I went to like this phone guys who repair phones and screens. Mind you, my phone, this phone, I go with it to the workshop a lot. It's the one recording, it's always on the tripod nowadays, or it's in my pocket for my overalls, right? So because of the workshop and how it is, sometimes I'm showing a piece of wood, it's down and it falls to a specific corner. There's a specific corner on my left side, this corner here. It's always falling that side. Even when I'm placing on the table and I want to cut wood, I forget. But most importantly, it always falls when I am undressing, like when I'm chucking the overall. So I'm like, I forgot my phone is in the pocket. It falls with that corner. So that corner kind of has cracks. Kiasi, my phone isn't like the ones, you know, like it's like a spider web all over. No, it's just a corner. It's just a corner right here. So I decide, okay, let's go. No, if we're not buying a phone, maybe we just replace the screen, because maybe the screen does say me later. No, so how did you know na black and white farm? It's funny. I get the phone. I ask the guy, the phone repair guy. I'm like, nikuulize swali. Simu yangu ilianza kuna black and white. I am not sure what it is. I have tried to look at the settings. I've given people around me who know anything phone things. Maybe a complex IT guys there. They check settings, nini wanambia no, your phone is okay, nini. Then I ask him, do you think the screen being cracked at the bottom could have affected the light? He's like, apana sister, unajua nini, screen haiwezi affect lighting. So lighting is a whole other story. Lakini hebu nipatie niangalie settings. Niko sure mliangalia fit, hebu nipe. He took the phone, he's going through the settings, and he's like, let's give up, there's nothing. This is 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later. During that period, he's like, hey, enyewe hapa kuna hope, lakini kuna kabiz kanaweza ivana. So he tells the shori who's there, or the mama, it's not a shori. Shori is like young, means like us. So mama, it's a whole mama. So he tells the mama, ebu uliza, isimu yako ni gani? Ebu uliza screen how much? Kashanga tena, you've clearly told me the screen cannot affect the lighting thing, the black and white and the color thing. So why are you telling me? And I said, just buy a new phone, basi. Because me in my head I was like, once you shika and open a phone or any electronic, I know it's downhill from there, you know. So I was like, sasa basi tatu tuamue tunashika simu nyingine basi. Then he asked, and then he's telling me 5Gs, and you know it's 5Gs na unajua ni si screen ati maybe ni imbo, as in, you know. So I was like, but umeniambia haiwezi kuwa imeaffect, nipe tu, let me go sleep on it and then I'll tell you, nitarudi. Kama sitarudi wewe jua nime sleep on it, ikaniambia zingine. I come back to the house, after a long day, ni mimi watch mode, I clean the dishes, I cook, nini, I come. I'm working. I stay up to 3-4 a.m. So I decide, because the next day is a busy day, I have to go source materials for Ciah and the project, and there was also another project I was almost finishing. I was dabbling because they required cushioning as well. Sasa mimi niko hivi ndio ati nimeingia kitanda. Kuingia kitanda, nikasema let me go through this one last minute, like for the last time, and then we decide tomorrow is materials, like the phone, new phone, hizo vitu zote. Fam, let me tell you, siniliketi chini. Sikuketi, lie down. Nililala. It's actually interesting. I took my phone to just check the last thing. I teremsha my notification panel like this. Iteremkas. I'm turning on the Wi-Fi. Then I noticed, yes, I love dark mode, so my phone is always on dark mode. I noticed, it's also dark mode. Location is usually on, so sometimes I'm very about when my location is on, so I turn it off. Then I noticed there's an ebook mode, and I'm like, facts, fam, I didn't put that ebook mode. And what else was on? Dealing with the eyes, something mode for the eyes, like to ensure like the light is good for you even if you're using your phone at night. There's that also other mode, and I'm like, that one should be there. The dark mode should be there. The Wi-Fi should be on. Location off. But what is this ebook mode that is on? I don't remember putting it on. Watch out, my friends. Let me tell you. Let me click that ebook mode. My phone, there was color, and then at that moment I started laughing. Usiku ngedhani mimi mchawi, 4 am nacheka, wala nacheka na niko peke yangu. Nacheka nini? Because it was very hilarious that even after taking the phone to the professionals dealing with all that, nobody could have figured out that at the ebook mode was the problem. Nobody, even me, until that fateful morning. Imagine, I'm like, hey, universe, I see you. But hey, we are not. Now we're in the same page because we had decided we're not buying new phones, new things that are just for money. We're investing. So it was actually very interesting, and that's how we got back the color. And immediately I went to the folder where I'd saved Ciah, and I checked everything in color. Then I went to a page, a section I have in my gallery where I pick different things that interest my eye in terms of design, woodwork, all that, because I knew I had such a green in one of those. Going in, I found it, immediately said Ciah as well. Now my phone is seeing color, so I'm like, Even the first day when I told, the second day I'd gone, I told him, guy, lakini simu yangu sioni color. That was before. It's like I couldn't have showed him this is Sacramento even, so that he tells me whether they've ever mixed such a color, a shade. So now I go, there's color that's been seen. You can see Sacramento now. Then he tells me, by the way, kuna green ili notice sikukwambia. Ilikuwa tulifanyia corporate. Ilikuwa kampuni fulani. Na ilikuwa green inakaribia hiyo dark kweli. Na si hizi zimezikuwa hapa. Hebu acha nikuoneshe. He goes through, like, so he has like this counter book where he's been, every time he mixes anachota anaeka fingerprint ting alafu ana name. So we go through, we see other colors, and then there was robust wine. So if you watch episode 7? Yeah, I think it's episode 7, where I tell Lucia she's a good student. It's because we had decided the Sacramento, but since the shade was similar to robust wine, we were like AKA robust wine. Yeah. So whatever ended up being mixed was robust wine. Even after being mixed, then me chota, even me now I put it there so that I see whether when it's kaukazu, I do other errands in the supermarket, then come back to see whether when it's dried, it's Sacramento. It was a bit light. Even if I did 2 to 3 coats, it would be now, it wouldn't have ficad kushika that robust wine. So what happened is, so they told me there's the colorant that needs to be added, and what was added more, you know how the color chart is, and I'm still learning that thing. You mix certain colors to give you a different color. So now what we needed for it to be darker was black. So they had to add a bit more black, which shouldn't be done, but I had to request because you guys, I wanted the robust wine. If you actually mix the robust wine, it means even the paints that came that were filled weren't the same to give us this. So there was no fault in giving me some more robust, some more black, and it was black and white. Because I think there was another color that just fucked up everything. But yeah. And there we had it. When I put it, I saw ikikauka itakuwa hivyo. And then I do a couple more shades. We have Sacramento. Yeah. And that was it. After the paint hurdle was done, because now I had to paint first. As it's drying, I'm working on the wood, cutting, sanding, nini, go back to all those coats. So by the time it's set up, the walls are ready. It's not like now I'm finished here, now I go paint, I wait for 2-3 days at it. You do it as you go. So that's what happened. Yeah. So now we are back to the shop. We are in Ruaka now. It's getting late, but we've finalized everything. I've gotten the measurements for the space, the length, the width, the height. Now we also divide. This is where the tattoo bed is going. So here is the first workstation. Here is the snack bar. The mirror is coming here. How high do you want the mirror? How high can the mirror go? Because the whole mirror is like 4x6. Come to this side. I suggest, because we're already working with palette-like designs for the barrier, I suggest let's work with crates for storage, for folding clothes. And there's already the hanging vibe that Ciah already had sent me. There's a rope one, the sisal rope one, and there was just a kawaida one, which was the metal brackets. Then we went for the sisal rope because it give the shop the vibe. The seating also had to continue to be palette like, but at that moment we said let's dress the seating to be like a poof. Then we have the cushioning and the cushioning for the back. We have the pillow and the cushioning for sitting and the pillow for the back. And then there'd be like 2 small ones. Everything there should be portable, so that one of the seats would serve also as this side seat for Lucia when she's on her workstation. But at the same time, it's the reception seats when people just come in. Does it make sense? Because the space was small. It was tight. The space was tight. It was really tight. It was tight. I'd want to give you the measurements, but then again, I figured that your space could be different, so hakuna haja. What else? Something to hang the kofias up with you. So those were the main things. Then I was like, hey, I could do the lighting for them. I have these nice log fixtures I've been making. So my dilemma was the space is quite small. So meaning I wouldn't use the normal logs I used, which are very long, because most times I see the log fixture that I have in mind to be on a dining area space. But then also it would work there nicely as the reception area. And with the vibe they were going with, it would fit perfect. And the green, and then get plants. Ooh, like you'd see the vision coming to life. You'd see it here. So but I'm working on doing that on a software. But really, if you just trust like they did, the vision is there and it can come to life. And this is a testament to that, right? For now, until I learn those 3D ArchiCAD things. Time. So or I get someone who will do that, put the vision into the software. And then what else? We also needed a signboard for outside, and also seats for outside. We decided, hey, we did the measurements in mini. Then when we were doing painting day, the first day when we were doing the outside, then we noticed, and this corridor has been finured, we need a smaller seat. So what's the best seating for someone to sit on? Does it make sense? Let me check if it's actually still recording. Oh God, it's good. Let me tell you, this phone sometimes storage. Let me tell you, the content I'm recording nowadays, I'm in it for you guys. I told you guys, I'm here. I'll share all the knowledge I've gotten. We will make everything together. So understand that the whole day, the phone is just recording. At night, it's editing. So it's always like this. So I was like, hey, nimeongea hizo stories zote, and it's not on camera. Fam. This is a reveal. Please stick all the way through. But if you can't continue hearing, you don't want to continue hearing the stories, you can push to a certain minute, which I'll put in the description box. You go direct to see this shop was this nice like this. But kidogo nimewapatia the before and after nikianzia, so you know where we're going. So we stayed there. We sat down, fam. We had lunch. We sat down there. We broke down everything. I was like, there's no time. Can you give me the budget of the material nini? then you go, you start getting them, you start working. As we get also, we sort all these other things, and bado kwa job pia Zeus alikuwa anashughulikia vitu za tattoo, all those things, it's business and drip and suits and nini. So what happened next? We sat down there, we sat until the sun set, like past sunset, fam. We I had to hey, let me tell you, do you know this material leaning to the measurements, and you don't have this, you have to do that. So I'm saying, we need this number of foot of wood, each foot is 30 bob, 50 bob, calling all the people. Thank God, now me, once I go somewhere, I always take a contact, because if a client asks me for something and I don't have the current price, italeta ngori. So if for the sisal, for the cushioning, for the fiber, for all those things, I had to call the plugs. I have a plug for this, nampigia namwambia saini inachezea wapi, iko how much, nini, ananiambia we put that down, we did that for everything. At least those things I know from the supermarket, like the rangi, I know where size inachezea after the fuel price hike, tap, white spirit, all those things, tap inside nini, fam, we had list going. We're going per item. A mirror will be like this, a whole mirror is 4x6, we use the whole mirror, yes, we have, it's cut into 2, so it's 2x4. It will be where on a blockboard. How many blockboards do we need? We need a blockboard for the mirror. We need a blockboard for the seats. We need it was like we were going, we went, and we finally came up with a good total, and also now my labor. So me, I give you the best price. Me siyangi watu materials, sasa pia mimi niongeza pesa yangu hapo zi. Me, I give you the price direct from the source. If you don't wanna believe me, then you buy and then you bring. Or I give you the number, you call and you see. It's just the truth, because I believe already I'm getting mine from the labor. So it's the labor that you pay me. So when we got a good budget. She's like, but it's above our budget. So what do we cut kiasi for now, for starting, and then so that they're able to get other things. We cut out. I remember we cut out the mirror. And what else did we cut? But by the time I was finishing making all those things, imagine we just got the mirror, because we were like, on the drip side, mtu akivaa nguo lazima ajione. On this other side, tattoo, mtu akiweka tattoo lazima ajione. Tuendaje basi? Aya, what else? We cut out something else. Whether we'd cut out even the snack bar, even we'd cut out a couple of things, by the way. Oh, the cushioning, I told her the outside seats don't need to have cushioning, so we cut that out. Then for the tattoo bed, they decided they'll just buy a new tattoo bed, because it was such a struggle to start now figuring out how to do the mechanics of a TA. So the head pops up at this point if the person wants to come a bit up. Okay, now the from the waist up comes up. Hizo mechanics bado sijafikia, hizo za ensuring the joints are moving, and it's not wood, mind you, it should be metal. So we're like, hey yo, change. So ikafanya budget yenye tulikuwa tumeka for the tattoo bed and the armrest, I think ikakuja sasa kwa pande tukarudisha kioo, tukarudisha cushioning, but sasa pia we narrowed down to the seats inside not having cushioning, because I was like, if we cover them and the space isn't that big, then and material per meter, and then said no. So we went with crates that have storage. So you open up, when you chuck the cushion, you open up and she has storage to put things in this one and that one. So that's when we decided, let's not cover it, let's just have it like that, and then the other crates go pale for more. See, have gone. What else? I think I'll also put up the photos of what we were working with, and then now on setup day when I finished everything, so I had people come to help me with sanding mainly, because I like to cut my wood. I haven't gotten people who are already pros as well, or have the experience that I have now. I can say I have now for dealing or working with power tools and knowing the right measurements and knowing how to cut wood without waste. Like if I have a board, like I have measured and done the measurements first to ensure maximum usage of the board without having this. Kuna mtu anakuja anaanza kazi tu anakata tu kimalamala, and then you're like, is this certain waste, and they can make things. So there's also that. So I had to cut that and have people who came to help me sand. I actually mentioned their names from episode 1. We have Frank, we have Bernard, and also my bro. Broski has always helped me with my projects. It's just because I'm good, and if you saw the the videos where he was vanishing, he was jumping with one leg, and he still helped a sister out. And imagine, those were the main guys who helped me. Bernard also came to Raka when I was doing the second black coat outside, because the first one we did with Ciah, even Ciah alishika Pacharangi. Imagine. And on setup days, Zeus helped set up, he helped with screwing, yani, getting people like that who also want to be involved in the process is a nice thing. So if you're thinking about working on your space, you really want to be part and parcel of it, I am your guy, because I'll come with the tools, we'll work together, you'll feel like you are part A, you'll be like, hey, she instructed me to do this. Anjiru told me to do this. I was able to make this frame that I wanted to make. I just didn't know how to put the screw in. I didn't know how to cut the measurements to bring the joints together. I didn't, or now I know, So if you're also looking to you're already working on a space, it's low key, but you don't have power tools, I'm the guy. You can just call. That is Kosana. We cannot Kosana, and it's a nice way to unwind. I honestly would say that after your Sunday ukifanya even ni kwa sababu ya time, I would have even actually prefer to do, because sometimes when you feel overworked, when you feel like there's a lot going through your mind, and you shika that sander, you forget, because now your focus is, how do I turn this rough piece of wood into a very smooth piece of wood, and then how do all these pieces, it's really nice, let me tell you, you test your creativity, you have a vision to like turn something, scrap pieces lying around, pieces of wood, into something that can be used. That's a joy, trust me, it is a joy, at least it is for me. So however you get your joy, or I don't even know how you get your joy, just follow it, because for me that works. And it's a nice feeling. So I can't wait to be doing big houses, tiny houses, doing whole spaces where I'm doing big budgets, apartments, I'm doing condos. It's coming. This is me manifesting right here. So yeah, finally after all that, and then on setup day, we also had fun on the job. We eat, we played pool up on X. The guy next has pool, has those nice games. He has darts, nini, at a fee, of course. And I had my first ever bike ride, because I've always wanted to be a biker, but I'm like, why? I'm a biker, but I want it for fun and for the swag of it, and for the I've always just wanted, but wanting one thing, and realistically thinking about how I'll carry these power tools afadhali. Hey, realistically carry these tools afadhali gari. So for now, and then small pieces of wood in afadhali. But hey, bike, one day when I make it, I'll have a fleet of bikes, of cruisers. Okay, so anyway, I promised to put up the video of the final space, and here's the space. This is Adon You. Make sure you hit them up for anything drip, suits, thriftwear, the accessories, anything tattoo. Just go support. And also, if you have a podcast, you have all those other things that you would want to shoot in a nice ambient space, you can go also there, just talk to Ciah, talk to man like Zeus, and you're good. What else can you do there? Photo shoots. If you love drip, you can go there. They have really good deals for you guys. Just go, photos, you want a space to just be on the gram, be on TikTok, on Snapchat. Just go. Trust me, it's a nice place, and it's in Raka. So yeah, Anjiru says she's proud of what she's becoming, and she's thankful for Ciah and Zeus for giving me this opportunity. I'm very thankful, because finally I have a space that I have made, and this is like to many more. I decided I wanted to come with something here, and I'm like, ching, cheers, woo. And I was like, yo, I might be having kids here, I might be having judgy people and all that. So I was like, nah, just understand after this. Actually, we already had that, the pre-bash for opening up the space. The space is now open, by the way. So we already had that to be like, hey, congratulations, and they love it, and I love it, and I'm surprised by myself every day, and I surprise the people around. I think one thing I've come to realize with people is, especially when you're a woman and you do manly things, at first it's like they judge you and they're not sure. They're like, how can Shorty do this? But I'm glad Ciah was like, no, it's tunapatia nani, tunapatia she. She was like, even if she's able, also there's the whole thing of trust, because now look, Ciah is working, Zeus is busy looking for things. They had to trust me with the keys for the space. I was going there. I had to be disciplined to know I have to go this time and not slack, and we're working on a time limit, and ensure everything pulls through as it should. So yeah, kuna hiyo. I think also now that is easier when you're a woman. I think it's easier to be trusted or to be perceived as responsible versus being a guy, because story nimesikia some mafundi wengine wa baba sitaki to mention, but yeah, I think there's also that fear. So I've noticed it with clients sometimes. They find it kind of they find it as a relief, and I'm glad I had that opportunity to work there. And you guys kindly give me your spaces. If you're thinking of working, trust, we'll work with the best budget possible for you. And being a DIY person, I think I have the DIY angle to it. Like, what can we repurpose for the space? What do you already have that can be turned into something nice? So before you going deep into your pockets to go buy something else out there, and you already have something nice. Does it make sense? Yeah. I'm your go-to guy. So ensure that you've subscribed, that thumbs up, like this video, and turn post notification bell on to ensure that every time I post anything DIY, anything music, anything, I think at the end of the day, I have decided that Anjiru will be doing whatever she feels like doing and whatever feels right for her. And if you guys want to join along in my journey, then bless, because there's more to come. There's more surprises. I'm surprising myself every day, and I wouldn't mind to share that with you moving forward. Ciah, now I was told we want to see your face. We want to see that face. We want to hear if you actually talk. Fam, I talk, and I told you, if I start talking, I'll talk and talk and talk. I want to give you more time to see this. I'm actually also thinking of redoing videos that I did like a while back on how to, because now I'm actually seeing that people are interested in knowing how to use this tool. So I think I'll try be more vocal, yeah, and explain. I feel like I'm a bit more confident now with my years of experience. I'm self-taught, by the way, so it's not like I went to school to learn these things. Sometimes I don't know how it's happening, but it's happening, and I'm glad to be sharing it with you guys. So now, enjoy the space. This is the after space, and this is Adon You by Anjiru. I did the space, so anything in that space that you want to buy, especially the lightings, I'm selling them. Promoter sister, do you have a bad lighting above your dining table? Tell me how many bulbs you want. We did like 2 bulbs for the space and 2 on the other side for the tattoo. So, but normally it has 4 to 6 bulbs, the log, because it's a bit longer. So just hit me up for anything. Honestly, at this point in time, I think I can actually construct a house. Woo! So just hit me up, and I got you. Enjoy. See you guys in the next video, which is soon.
Ksix on the beat, nigga.